And if you look at it, there are organizations I just heard which are 19-year-old utilities. The first time they are going in losses because the renewables now there, the solar power, has actually outnumbered their power as well as the utility is concerned. So there are changes in the global scenario which is happening, which is making this power available to the common man. And if you look at the recent tariff structures which have been announced, definitely the initial projections 2 year was that we will have a parity at 2022. In 3 months time I have seen the parity coming to 2019, 2018 at the grid level. And this is no surprise that very soon we will have a coal power more expensive than the solar power in this country. And that too at a distributed level. But again, it's a very theoretical way to look at it. There are challenges on the part of it. If you just take the Google map and work out what is the land required for this 100 gigawatt of power from solar, you will realize it will take 0.5% of the total land available in India, which is quite a challenge if you look at it. And when I say it's a Google map, calculations are there. We also realize that it will involve huge billions of dollars for imported content of this, which will all come from, most of it will come from one country. Again, we don't have I think there has been a discussion about the transmission line in the past, but we don't have those transmission lines and the strength of those grids to take this solar power ups and down. If you just compare, and I'm just sharing with you, I have seen those curves. If you see the curve of how Germany power sector behaves on solar versus their load requirements, they have done an amazing job in making sure that the gaps are very low. Unfortunately, in this country, when we talk about solar, the peak comes, at a time in this country, the peak comes from 7 to 10, and then at 6 to 9. And at none of these times the solar power is available. So we have a challenge there, where there is a power which can substantiate, but then we have a challenge there of this power being not as reliable as a coal or a nuclear, or for that matter, even gas-based power. We also have the issues of the transmission line. We also have the challenge of for how will you service it across, and the way the technology is changing. Whether the commitment we are making for 25 years reliable power from the same source will it come back to it. There is again a concept of rooftop solar. There is a concept of taking powers to the doorsteps of all the individuals and make it a business model so that they can earn from it in the same process. So you have your own power and you also have a capacity to earn from that energy source which is coming to you. Good on paper, but let's understand how much of it will effectively work out to the households for people who will invest in this sort of power energy project. So like I said that 24/7 possible, solar, wind, major thrust by the government areas, possible. How much of it will happen? I will just share with you that China, which has currently more than 20 gigawatt, and to be precise 28 gigawatt as we speak today, has a target of 100 gigawatt by 2020. We in this country, with 3 gigawatt installed capacity today of solar, has now committed ourselves of a target of 100 gigawatt by 2022. Look at the domestic production, the made in China production of solar. Look at the made in India production of solar. Look at the advancement of wind in China and look at how we are struggling on wind. So like I said, on paper it's a wonderful thing. There are lots of government initiatives which have been taken. The industry is coming forward to take advantage of it. I think there's a lot of commitment on it. But actually, we all have to see how it pan out in the coming years. The few critical projects which are coming will help on a very slow basis. They all are grid connected. There are policies for grid connected or net metering in most of the cities that we talk of in the metros. But like I said, it's easy to make a policy and difficult to realize it and then take advantage of it for a common man. We as an engineer have a big challenge to see to it that the people who are investing in these technologies and in these powers actually gain the benefit of or reaping those energy sources which are supposed to come from it. And I think that's a big challenge. Again, I will like to summarize on paper, it's possible. On paper, there is renewable in the space which can fill in the gap very easily. Technology has made it possible for us to take advantage of it. But like I said, traveling 4 kilometers in 1.5 hours is still happening in this country. And then looking at 100 gigawatt of solar and 70 gigawatt from where we are is again a reality which most of the engineers have to stretch out. And then the government and the business has to also play a very important role in this. Thank you.